You're over 60 and you walk every day for your circulation, but your calf muscles need one thing walking never gives them: a pause mid squeeze. This isn't rare. It happens to people who walk every single day. They still end up with cold feet by evening. Their ankles puff up before dinner. Some notice a dull ache settling into their calves by the end of the day. By the time most people notice, they assume it's just part of getting older. It usually isn't. Today, I'm going to show you why walking alone doesn't finish the job, and I'll show you the one small adjustment that does. My name is Dr. Emma Johnson. This channel has one goal: to help people over 60 understand what the research actually says about their bodies, in plain, everyday language. No jargon. Today, I'm walking you through 3 simple movements. Stay with me through all 3. Number 2 involves a 10-second test. It's linked to your long-term health in a way that surprised even the researchers who ran it. And number 3 is the one your muscles need most. It's the only one that holds long enough to matter. Before we get into the 3 movements, I need to give you one idea. Without it, none of this will make sense. I call it the hold threshold. Here's what it means. Your calf muscles act like a pump for the veins in your legs. Every time they squeeze, they push blood back up toward your heart, against gravity. But that push only works if the squeeze lasts long enough. It needs to fully close the tiny one-way valves inside your veins. A quick bouncy squeeze, like the kind you get from ordinary walking, often releases too soon. Blood starts to slide back down before the next step even arrives to catch it. Over the course of a whole day, those missed squeezes add up quietly. That's the hold threshold. It's the minimum time a muscle needs to stay contracted to actually clear blood out of your lower leg, instead of just stirring it in place. Keep that in mind as we go through each movement. The ones that cross that threshold are the ones that genuinely count. Movement number 1 starts with understanding why sitting quietly works against you. Let me tell you about Phyllis, 68, retired postal worker. She spent 30 years walking routes across Tucson in the heat. She figured her legs were in great shape from decades on her feet. Then she retired. She started sitting far more through the day. Her ankles began swelling by mid-afternoon, even though she still took her daily walk without fail. Here's the problem. Sitting keeps your calf muscles almost still for hours, so the pump barely fires. It sounds harmless because you're just resting, not sick or injured. But resting is exactly when blood has the most time to pool quietly at your ankles. Over months and years, that quiet pooling adds up. And here's the part that surprises people. This isn't only a comfort issue. Poor leg circulation is one of the earlier signs that the arteries themselves may be gradually narrowing. Estimates vary, but by age 70, somewhere between 1 in 10 and 1 in 5, adults have some degree of narrowed leg arteries, often without knowing it yet. What to do instead? Break up sitting every 30 to 45 minutes with a short burst of ankle movement, even while you're still seated at the table. It costs you nothing. Most people can fit it in without changing their schedule at all. But it directly interrupts the pooling before it has a chance to build up. Movement number 2 is where balance and circulation quietly meet. It's the one people least expect to matter for their legs. In 2022, researchers followed over 1,700 adults for several years. People who couldn't hold a simple one-legged stance for 10 seconds had an 84% higher risk of dying over the following decade. That's compared with people who could hold it steadily. Now, that sounds like it's only about balance. And on the surface, it is. But standing on one leg forces your calf, ankle, and hip muscles to contract the whole time to keep you upright. That's the sustained squeeze that crosses the hold threshold we talked about earlier. Ordinary walking never asks your muscles to hold like that, not even for a single second. You're always shifting your weight forward onto the next step. Let me pause for just a moment here, because this is a natural spot for it. If this has been useful so far, go ahead and subscribe and tap the like button. I read every comment, and it genuinely shapes what I make next. To practice it safely, stand near a counter with one hand resting lightly nearby. Lift 1 foot an inch off the floor and hold for 10 to 20 seconds before switching to the other side. Do 2 rounds per leg and build the hold time gradually as it starts to feel easier. Most people notice it gets easier within the first week or two. Movement number 3 is the one your muscles actually need most. It's built entirely around crossing the hold threshold on purpose. A study in the Journal of Applied Physiology had older men do simple calf raises at home. No equipment, no gym. 3 times a week for 8 weeks. Their explosive lower leg strength increased by 21%. That gain came purely from one movement, done consistently in their own living rooms. The idea here is simple. A quick calf raise bounces right back down. Instead, rise slowly onto your toes. Hold at the top for 3 to 5 seconds, then lower with control. That hold is what a normal step never gives your muscles time to do. It's the same principle behind that 21% gain. Consistency in a slow, deliberate squeeze. Not intensity, not equipment. I promised you something you can use, so here it is, in order. Step 1. Every 30 to 45 minutes of sitting, flex your feet up and down about 10 times. This interrupts pulling before it starts. Do this at your desk, at the kitchen table, or in front of the television. Step 2. Once a day, hold a one-legged stance near a sturdy counter, 10 to 20 seconds per side. Build your hold time gradually over the coming weeks. Step 3. Do 8 to 10 slow calf raises. Hold 3 to 5 seconds at the top of each one. This makes the squeeze actually cross the hold threshold instead of bouncing past it like ordinary steps do. Phyllis didn't need to walk any further than she already was. She needed her muscles to hold on just a little longer each time they squeezed. A few extra seconds, repeated consistently. Within a few weeks, her ankles stopped ballooning by dinner time. She stopped noticing her feet at all during the day, which is exactly the point of all of this. She still takes her daily walk, and she still enjoys it. She just added 3 small holds around it. Your legs have carried you this far without complaint. That small habit is a fair thing to ask of them in return.